Hey y'all, welcome back to Peyton Energetics. I'm Peyton, and today we are talking about how to ground your energy if you are a starseed. There are millions of starseeds on the planet right now, with more waking up every single day. And so as we move through this ascension process that all of humanity is going through right now, one of the most important things we can do is ground our energy. So you may have seen in previous videos, I laid out some specific techniques to help you ground your energy, because grounding your energy is one of the most important things we can be doing as light workers and starseeds right now. So what I'm going to talk about in today's video is a new technique for starseeds specifically, because what we are noticing as we go through this ascension process is the way that we used to ground our energy isn't so much working for us anymore. And this is especially true if you are a starseed, because starseeds, and if you're not familiar with the term starseed, all that means is someone whose soul originates from another star system. So a starseed you can think of as kind of a subset of light workers. And starseeds are here on the earth to hold a very high vibration. And because of that, their vibration is different from the average human. And because of that, because we are vibrating at a higher rate than the average person, we need slightly different tools to help us stay balanced and centered. And if you are a starseed, you are probably very sensitive as well. You may be intuitive or empathic, and that's part of being such a high vibrational being. And when you have that kind of empathy or sensitivity, you can feel what's going on the planet much more than the average person. And what that means is starseeds right now, especially with the intense energies that we have been having, the solar flashes, solar flares, the CMEs, the fluctuations in the Schumann resonance, starseeds can really be feeling uncomfortable in their bodies. And so the practice that we use on the intuitive path or the spiritual path is called grounding our energy. And what that does is connects us to the vibration of Earth. And so the way that we have traditionally always grounded our energy, whether you are a light worker or a starseed, is by grounding into the planet. So many of the grounding exercises that you will see, and you can check them out, they are everywhere online. It's a fairly standard concept in the intuitive world, the energy world, how to ground your energy. Most of these practices teach you how to use a meditation to connect with the energy of Gaia. And so that has been a great practice for light workers and starseeds for many, many years now. But something has shifted over the past 6 months to a year, where the vibration of Gaia is more challenging for starseeds to ground into. So especially if you have been on your spiritual path for a while and have been doing your personal work and raising your vibration, you may notice that grounding into the planet is no longer comfortable for you. So if that is the case, a more advanced grounding technique might be helpful to you. So this is something that the Pleiadians have been teaching my clients recently, is another way for starseeds to ground their energy, because the vibration of Earth right now, of Gaia, is quite low. And so when starseeds and even light workers ground into Gaia, they may feel uncomfortable now. And so if you are someone who you're finding that your old grounding tools don't feel like they're working, or the energy of Gaia isn't feeling good to you right now, it may mean it's time for this more advanced grounding technique. So I'm sharing this with starseeds and light workers because I'm seeing this in so many of my starseed clients, that the old way that we used to ground just really isn't cutting it. So if you are newer to your awakening path and you find that just grounding into Gaia still balances you and makes you feel comfortable and stable and in your body, then by all means use your traditional grounding techniques. If you don't know how to ground your energy at all, that is actually a great way to start with the kind of the traditional way of grounding. And see in my videos below, I have a couple different videos that will teach you some simple tools to ground your energy. But if you notice that this isn't feeling so good to you anymore, you may want to consider one of these more advanced tools that I'm about to tell you about. Because what could be happening is you have raised your vibration so high, and as a starseed, your vibration was already a level above the average human. And as you do your spiritual work, you raise that vibration even higher. So you may need a new grounding practice. So one of the things that the Pleiadians have been talking to me about, and I have been trying this and have found it much more effective than grounding into Gaia, because I was finding that grounding into Gaia it was too dense. It wasn't feeling right with my vibration anymore. So one of the things you can try if you are in that situation and notice that your old grounding tools just aren't cutting it, one thing that the Pleiadians have suggested is to try grounding your energy into the sun. So using that same grounding meditation that you always use, but instead of dropping your grounding cord into the earth, you are going to just use your imagination and ground it into the sun, like you are plugging yourself into the sun instead of into the planet beneath your feet. So that is one way. And when I plug into the sun, it feels so good. You can feel that high vibrational energy instantly. And for me, it was just much more comfortable for where my vibration is right now. So you can try that out as one option if the old way isn't really working for you anymore. Now, another thing that you can try, which I have been playing around with and loving, is you can also try grounding your energy into your star system of origin. So we've been talking in the past couple videos about how to tell your starseed origin. And that just means where your soul is from. So say you are a Pleiadian starseed. What you could try doing is grounding your energy into Alcyone, which is the central sun of the Pleiadian system. And just see how it feels when you start to ground into your home star system. For so many of my clients, they are finding that this feels amazing. It gives them that feeling of being connected with their star family again. And if you happen to know the exact planet that your soul is from, like say you know that you are from Electra in the Pleiades, you can even try grounding into that particular star system. If not, a great way, if you only know the star system in general, is to go with the central sun. You can try Sirius A if you are a Sirian being. You can try Alcyone if you're Pleiadian, Arcturus if you're Arcturian, and on down the line, depending on what you consider to be your star system of origin. And grounding into your home star system can be a great way to ground as a starseed. It can just give you a higher vibrational energy that you just may not be getting by grounding into the planet beneath your feet right now. So I'm finding that that is a great workaround. And maybe you don't know exactly what your star system of origin is if you're not quite sure, but you're drawn to a couple different star races. Just you can play around with just grounding into those different star systems and just seeing how the energy feels. As we always say in energy work, go with what resonates, what feels good. If it doesn't, leave it behind. Just go back to your old way of doing it. So this is one thing you can play around with, is grounding into your home star system, essentially. And I find that when I play around with grounding into some of the different star systems that I have lived in, some feel very good and others don't feel good. So again, if it doesn't feel good, just unplug your grounding cord and move to something else. So that can be another great thing to try if your old grounding method is kind of letting you down right now. And another way that you can really ground well if you are struggling with that meditation of grounding into the earth, is by doing physical grounding. And this is something I talk about at length in one of my earlier videos. So go back to that if you need more details. But physical grounding is when you ground just by getting out in nature. And sometimes just being outside, being in the water, being in nature, connecting with the planet can be a beautiful way to ground your energy if you're not liking that sense of dropping a grounding cord into the earth. So grounding in nature, just being in the elements will ground you naturally. So that's another great thing to do if you are a starseed and you're struggling a bit with keeping yourself grounded, because we have been having such intense energies lately, especially over the past couple months, and they're only going to get stronger. And so really having a great way to ground is kind of unnecessary for us as starseeds right now. So play around with your technique. You're not locked into just the technique that your intuitive teacher taught you 5 years ago. In fact, what you learned a few years ago, or even 1 year ago, might not be working anymore because we are growing at such a rapid rate. So again, try some of these alternatives if you notice the old way isn't working. If the old way is working, go with what works. As always, don't listen to what I say or what anyone else says. Talk to your intuition and listen to the feedback you get from your body. Your body will tell you whether you like this or whether you don't like it. And so that just tells you you are onto something or you need to just let this go. And then finally, another great way to ground your energy, if you're kind of looking for a new method, is with your animals. Our animals are masters at grounding their energy. As you know, their little feet are always on the ground, so they are always completely grounded. And really just spending time touching your animals, snuggling your puppy, your kitty. This is a great way to ground your energy. We have incredible healers in the form of our animal friends, and they can help us to ground and balance our energy. So again, if you're struggling to find a grounding technique that works for you right now, know that you're not alone. We are going through an energetic transition. And so our old way of doing things just might need a little upgrade. And so trying one of these other grounding methods can help get you back in your body. Because as the Pleiadians always tell us, the two most important things we need to do to ascend are to be in our heart and be grounded into our bodies, because our bodies are the vehicle taking us through the ascension process. So you want to be firmly in your body, firmly grounded as often as you can be. Hope this helps you. I'll see you soon. Bye.